Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advertisements.
Their Onado. Defense headquarters has denied reports of reprisal attacks on Okuama Community in Delta State following the killing of 16 Army personnel of the 81 Amphibious Battalion in the state last Thursday, saying there would, however, be consequences for killing service personnel on peacekeeping mission. A statement by the Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, said the personnel were on a peace mission to Okuama Community when members of the community launched unprovoked attacks, killing the commanding officer of 181 Amphibious Battalion, 2 majors, 1 captain and 12 personnel of the battalion. Major General Buba noted that misleading reports of reprisal attacks on the community was false as it was deserted even before troops arrived at the scene. He therefore urged those involved in peddling misinformation, disinformation and fake news that the military had embarked on reprisal attacks on the community following the incident to desist from further dishonoring the fallen heroes. He called on the community leaders, elders and even the people of Delta State to assist investigation to identify the perpetrators of the dastardly attack so that they can be held accountable for their actions. Activist and former presidential candidate of the African Action Congress AAC Omoyele Sowore has apologized to the Nigerian army for posting a video purportedly showing Okuama Community in Ughelli South local government area of Delta State under military attack following the killing of 16 army personnel of the 181 Amphibious Battalion in the state last Thursday. A viral video showed some houses on fire and was allegedly blamed on the army as a reprisal attack on the community, where the commanding officer of the army battalion, 3 other senior officers and 12 soldiers were ambushed and killed by suspected youths of the community. But Sowore, who just returned to his family in the United States of America last week after about 5 years of being on trial in Nigeria for alleged terrorism, said he had discovered that the video was false as it depicts a different event that happened in the neighboring Bayelsa state and not Delta State. Taking to his X handle on Monday night, Sowore said he has since deleted the misleading video. The Nigerian army said its troops deployed in 1 division area of the responsibility in Kaduna State have rescued 16 kidnapped victims in Kajiru local government area. And Director, Army Public Relations, Major General Onyema Machiku, in a statement, said the troops rescued the abductees in Tantatu community of Kajiru local government area on 17th March 2024 at about 10:30 p.m. Machiku said the troops were responding to actionable intelligence, tracked the insurgents who had earlier attacked the community in numbers and abducted some of the villagers as hostages. The army spokesman added that the troops are still exploring the bushes in continuation of the search and rescue operations to rescue other victims and resist the nefarious activities of the insurgents. And ahead of the November 16, 2024 Ondo State governorship election, the ruling All Progressives Congress APC has fixed sale of the party's expression of interest and nomination forms prices at 50 million naira. According to the notice, the exercise would commence on April 3rd and end April 10th. The primary election is for April 25th, 2024, while appeals from the outcome of the exercise has been scheduled for April 26th. APC announced this in a notice on its official X handle as signed by its National Organizing Secretary Suleiman Argungu Monday night. The expression of interest form is pegged at 10 million naira, while each aspirant is expected to obtain the nomination form at the rate of 40 million naira. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has called for provision of study grants for Nigerian students in the bill seeking to establish the Nigeria Education Loan Fund NEL Fund before the Senate. The NANS president, Lucky Emonele, made the call in Abuja at a public hearing on the repeal and reenactment of 2024 Student Loan Access to Higher Education Bill 2024. The public hearing was organized by the Senate Committee on Education and TED Fund and House of Representatives Committee on Student Loan, Scholarship and Higher Education Financing. Emonele commended President Bola Tinubu for responding to the request of NANS by including its leadership as representatives of the students on the loan board. According to him, there is a need to make provision of grants for students to enable them complete or further their studies. The Nigerian Communication Commission (NCC) has revealed that voice and data services have been restored to approximately 90% of their peak utilization capacities following days of disruption owing to undersea cable cuts on the West African coast. Recall that there was disruption on March 14, 2024, which affected data and voice services due to cuts in undersea fiber optics along the coast of Cote d'Ivoire and Senegal. NCC, in a press statement made available to leadership on Monday, said all operators who were impacted by the cuts have taken recovery capacity from submarine cables which were not impacted by the cuts and have thus recovered approximately 90% of their peak utilization capacities. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abuja Zonal Command, has handed over documents of recovered properties and 324 houses to Kano State pensioners. According to the EFCC, the houses were fraudulently sold to cronies of two unnamed former governors of Kano State. While handing over the documents of the 342 properties worth 4.1 billion naira to the pensioners on Monday, the Abuja Zonal Commander of the EFCC, Adeni Adebayo, assured that the EFCC would continue to do its best to rid the nation of fraudulent activities. EFCC spokesperson Dele Oyewale said the handing over of the houses followed a final forfeiture order granted by the Justice I.E. Eko of the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja after successful investigations carried out by the Anti-Graft Commission over a 4.1 billion naira pension trust fund contributed by the pensioners to own houses, which was fraudulently denied them by two successive administrations in Kano State. And now let's take some sports news. Nigeria's under-20 female football team, the Falconets, will take on Ghana on Thursday in the final of the women's football event at the 13th Africa Games in Ghana. The news agency of Nigeria reports that the Falconets booked a defeat in Uganda 2-0 in the match played at the Cape Coast Stadium on Thursday at 8 p.m. The news agency of Nigeria reports that the Falconets won the gold medal in the event at the 12th African Games in Rabat, Morocco in 2019. The 13th African Games, which started on March 8, will end on March 23rd, and the ongoing games have been held across three cities: Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast. Finally, now on sports, Anthony Joshua have climbed up Ring Magazine's ranking after his devastating victory over Francis Ngannou. The former heavyweight, or rather heavyweight champion, sent his rival to the canvas in the opening round and then hit the deck again before his lights were put out with a powerful right hand. Joshua has now won 4 bouts in a row against Ngannou, Otto Wallin, Robert Helenius and Jermaine Franklin after his back-to-back defeats to Alexander Usyk. His strong recent performances have seen him climb up from 3rd to 2nd in the Ring Magazine heavyweight